Okay, now I think this is good. This is good. Okay, John, I hope hindi kita inapi. Medyo napa-midnight tayo. Hindi natin sabihin kung anong airlines yan. Pero ang suggestion ko parati kung talagang masamang pakiramdam niyo sa airlines, magreklamo kayo. Baka mamaya may free mileage pa kayo dyan. You never know, General. Wag gusto na mag-Siargao din. Or...
Ipakita natin ang corner ng kanyang pagkain.
Yun, ayan. Medyo parang alam ko kasi na yan, ha? Pero mabait to mga to. Basta General,
Yan ang kulay. Yan ang kulay ng puwet, oh. Yan ang kulay ng puwet.
Pero hindi siya mukhang Air Asia. Yun na lang sabihin natin. Hindi siya mukhang Air Asia. General, wow, it must have been a crazy, crazy week. At mukhang after 27 days, nakita yung mga 40 messages ko sa inyo. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. How crazy it was, General. Dapat nag-usap tayo nung Sunday, di ba? Tapos ako sabi ko Sabbath day, wala akong interviews and all. Yung pala, yung mahuli si Kibuloy nung Sunday. So sabi ko, naku po, nawala ako ng scoop. Yun sana ang pinakamalaking scoop ko. So General, did you have a sense na on Sunday mahuli niyo talaga si Kibuloy nung last Sunday? Or nagkataon lang talaga?
No, I made a decision to actually end everything on Sunday because I'm really very, very afraid na magkakaroon ng TRO on the Monday. Kasi may feeling ako na magkakaroon ng TRO eh. So, I already made a decision na Sunday, it's all or nothing. Pero wala naman eh, dahil una-una, naluto siya talaga nung weekend eh, dahil natapos yung presentation ko sa Senate nung Friday, and it crystallized everything na, kumbaga, andun na, nailatag ng premises and yung comms ang comms part nun, yung the way it is presented to the public. So, I think kung ano man ang nangyari nung Sunday, kung hindi man siya sumurrender at inassault namin talaga yung Bible School at may nasaktan talaga, or even if kung nagkawarak-warak yung Bible School, it will already be understood by the public kasi nailagay na natin nailatag ko na ang premise dun sa Senate hearing. Actually, it should have been Saturday Saturday afternoon, 1:00, ganun din kasi ginawa ko ng Sunday afternoon. Kasi nung Saturday, I realized that the first day of the bar is on the next day, Sunday. So, parang naawa naman ako sa mga estudyante nung eskwelahan ni Kibuloy. At hindi naman sila kasali doon. Dadamay lang sila sa kalokohan ng amo nila. So, unilaterally, I extended the deadline by 24 hours. And I communicated that with Attorney Torion. Kaya yun ang na-pick up yata ng media na nagbigay ako ng ultimatum na 24 hours. Hindi, actually, ang ultimatum nun is 6 hours lang eh. So I asked him I text him mga 6:20, mga 7 o'clock siguro, na-receive niya. So 7, by 1 o'clock, sabi ko, assaulting ko na yung Bible School na yan para matapos na tayo, magkaalaman na. Kung meron. Kung nandun. Kung wala. Kung wala doon, di tapos ako. Pero pag nandun, tapos din siya. Parang to sa Bacoy eh.
General, I wanna ask, nasalami slice niyo yung buong 30-hectare compound na yan? At least naabotan niyo yung pinaka-last stand ni Kibuloy? Ano ba yung operational procedure na umabot sa ganitong punto na pa-surrender na siya eventually?
Actually, 3 months, pagka-designate ko, 3 months, 2 months before the assault, tuloy-tuloy ang intelligence build-up. Maraming indicators. May mga indicators ng technical, may mga human intelligence, may mga surveillance. Kasi sinurveillance talaga namin ng area eh. I set up surveillance posts na nakikita namin ng loob. Talagang hinahanap talaga namin and we found the indicators. Ando na mga indicators. Kaya yung naging legal question na lang palagi na laging inuulit-ulit ng abogado is that dapat specific yung lugar na you have reasonable grounds to believe. Talaga reasonable grounds namin na talaga nandiyan si KOJC. Hindi naman siguro reasonable na expect mo na with that kind of layout, isang building lang ang pwede mong isa-search dahil nandun ang tao. So obviously, that place is complex na kung gusto niyang mag-broadcast, di pupunta siya sa SMNI. Kung gusto niya magturo ng Biblia niya, di doon siya sa Bible School. Kung gusto niya magturo ng mga elementary high school at maghanap ng mga panibagong target. Di doon siya sa elementary high school sa may GMC. Di ba? So, the guy moves around in that place. So, hindi reasonable na i-expect sa pulis na pag pumunta kami ron, nandun siya kaagad. Like, kahit sa bahay mo lang eh. Bakit? Pag pinunta ka sa bahay mo, sigurado mo nandiyan ka sa sala. Hindi eh. Hindi sigurado sa sala ka. You could be in the kitchen, you could be in the bathroom, you could be somewhere else. Nandun ka sa labas. So, ganun din. Multiply mo lang yung area because yung buong 30-hectare compound, kanya yun eh. It's his kingdom. Kingdom nga eh. Kaya nga kingdom, meron ba namang king na nandun sa trono niya? Hindi eh, wala eh. So, ganun nga. So, hinanap namin and then nang nasa loob na kami, nung unang salta namin, pinuntahan kagad ang lahat ng mga buildings kasi at may priority kami ng mga buildings noon. Yun, napaka-sobra ng resistance. Nakita nyo naman, pinakita ko sa video, di ba? How they treated us, yung sinasabi ni Katiil na red carpet, yung pala ang red carpet na sinasabi ni Katiil na kung legal lang daw kami lahat, maglalatabi siya ng red carpet, which is total bull. Kasi legal naman talaga kami, tapos yun ang red carpet nila. Sinusundan ako ng malaking bullhorn.
Well, General, mukhang ano ba talaga nangyari dyan? Naging architect ka ba or interior designer? May mga memes ako nakita, naging miner daw kayo. I mean, may underground tunnel ba daw sila? I mean, mukhang alam na alam mo na yung layout ng compound by now, General Torre.
3 years ako sa Mapua.
Engineer pala talaga. Engineer pala kayo. Yung pala sa
3 years ako sa Mapua bago mag-pulis.
civil engineer na to, tunnel engineer na to. Ano ba talaga alam na alam niya. Tsaka kulang na lang ba
Easy ako, pero syempre natapos ko ang basic. Ang basic kasi ng engineering, pare-pareho yan eh. Ang first 2 years yan, pare-pareho yan. Tapos mag-specialize na lang sa 3rd to 5th year. Pero hindi naman actually, well, more than having the technical background, talaga police experience yun eh. Ang nangyari talaga doon is police experience, the old school policing. So nang nakita namin na grabe ang kanilang resistance, so kulang ang tao ko. Kasi sabi nila, binoblow up nila na 3,000 ang tao ko, 2,000 ang tao ko.
2,000. Ano ba number? 2,000? Ano ba talaga, General?
More than that, 4,000 plus. Umabot kami ng 4,000 plus. Kasi nagpadala si Chief. Nagpadala ang una naming salta nung Monday na yon is nung Saturday na yon, yung August 24 is 3,500 ang dala ko eh. Pero isipin mo naman, the next day, Sunday evening, Sunday evening. Di ba, Saturday ang una naming punta, tapos na Sunday kinaumagahan. Nung that night, hindi nga namin sila napigilan na sinarado nila yung highway. We really cannot prevent them much as we'd like to do it. Kulang ang tao kasi napalaki ng lugar. Hindi naman namin pwedeng bitawan yung mga areas na naka-designate. Kasi halimbawa, like hangar, ilan lang ng tao ko doon? 50. Tapos doon sa Medina Construction, pagkalaki-laki Medina Construction, ang nilagay ko doon, dalawang platoon, 100 yon. Yung mismong dome, 5 hectares yun. Isang kumpanya lang inilagay ko doon, 100. Tapos ang iba doon is, ang marami kasi, yung security sa labas. Dahil kailangan namin i-secure ang gate. Sinasarado nila. Pag sasarahan nila kami, itatrap nila yung mga tao ko eh. Tapos, yung traffic, yung arresting ko, magkaiba yung tactical na may mga baril, konti lang yun. Ang marami doon, yung may mga baton and shields, yung CDM, Civil Disturbance Management. At marami rin, separate yun, yung grupo naman ng mga arresting, yung mga sibilya, naka-uniform, walang baril, walang shields, ang dala-dala naman, posas at saka mga plastic ties. Because on that morning, we're ready to arrest 200 people. Buti na lang, hindi na, binuksan lang ang gate na maayos. Pero yun naman, pinapasok kami at ginulo kami ng ginulo for the next 10 days. Kaya talagang
But General, weren't you supposed to get augmentation forces? General, weren't you supposed to get augmentation forces? I mean, the way you talk, this looks like a battlefield. It's like I'm listening to Napoleon saying, ito yung rear action namin, ito yung I mean, this looks like a very complex operation at parang you were being spread very thin, no? Given the scale of the challenge.
We're really spread thin kasi unang-una, Yung yung complex nga, di ba? 30 hectares. Tapos ang kuan nun, ang length and width nun is 500 meters. 500 meters on one side and mga
Half a
600 meters on
kilometer.
the other side.
So,
Oh,
more than
so
half a kilometer. Oh, wow.
yun ang dimensions niya. So, ang pinakamalaking challenge doon, iisa ang gate na pwede naming papasukan dahil by legality, doon ka talaga papasok. Alam namin na napakalaki ng resistance doon. So, ang naisip namin is multiple entry, multiple breaching points. Para sabi ko, pag hindi ma-open itong gate at talaga magmamatigasan sila, para ma-minimize naman ang casualties on both sides, di mag-breaching points tayo. Kung saan sila mahina, doon tayo mag-breach, doon tayo papasok. So, I designated 18 breaching points doon. So, ma-block man ang iba, makakapasok talagang iba. And eventually, dahil nakita nga nila ang futility ng resistance doon sa gate, dahil may mga nakakapasok na galing sa likod, so binuksan na lang nila eventually. So, which I'm very thankful. So initially, okay na. The next problem kaagad na na ibinigay nila sa akin, ang second night. Second night, sinarado nilang highway. Kaya hindi nila masabi talaga na naging long drawn at napakatagal ng search dun sa KOJC compound kasi napakaraming problems na hindi related sa search ang kanilang pinagagagawa. They ask for a permit from the Davao City LGU. Binigyan sila ng permit na mag-rally sa loob ng KOJC compound. Bigla naman silang lumabas at isinarado yung highway. And that's the highway in front of the airport. So, can you imagine ang kalbaryo na
Yeah,
inabot
yung
ng mga...
logistical nightmare yan. Yeah.
And nilagyan nila ng dalawang malaking crane, naglabas sila ng dalawang fire truck, naglabas sila ng dalawang wing van, ang isa ginawa nilang stage. At napakarami nilang barriers na inilabas at inilagay sa gitna ng kalsada. Tapos nagsisisigaw pa sila na nangtitirgas ang pulis. Ang daladala nila is mga fire extinguisher at binubuga nila sa amin sabay sigaw na nangtitirgas ang pulis. Mga ganong machinations ba? Which is very, very...
Mukhang may training yata. Ano, may pinapanood ba sila na civil
Yes,
resistance?
may training sila,
Feeling
may
EDSA
military
ba?
training
Feeling people
sila.
power?
May militia sila. And they were trained by government forces also. Kasi before, partner man sila ng government. But
True.
they used that government training against the police and the other government forces. So they were trained. They were trained by us.
Totoo ba meron sila mga Hamas-like tunnels? May mga nagsabi ng gano'n na may parang tunnel, baka may tunnel sila na pang Hamas. Yung underground tunnels daw. Meron ba talaga doon sa...
Hindi, yun actually ang hinahanap ko kasi hindi namin talaga pwedeng i-ignore yung sense of life based on the life and motion detector. LM yun LM, life and motion detector. Hindi pwedeng ikuan yun. Hindi pwedeng i-ignore yun na there's movement 8 meters underground. Hindi pwede yun. Kaya yun talaga ang pinagsimulan ng research namin kasi nga ang initial namin na iniisip, bunker. Kaya nung eventually, nung mag-surrender si Kibuloy doon sa Bible School, I believe na anyway, may oras para sa lahat at darating din tayo dyan. Ayaw niya makita namin kung ano meron sa Bible School sa loob. Kaya
Doon lang.
he decided to surrender na lang. Kasi kung
so
hintayin niyo pang
it was
i-assault
trying to
namin,
avoid...
makiklear namin, malalaman namin lahat ng sikreto.
Okay. So,
Kaya actually, sinabi ko rin doon sa mga tao ko na kung si Kibuloy lang lalabas, itutuloy pa rin namin ang assault kasi hanapin namin yung apat niya pang co-accused. Kaya ayun, biglang nang lumabas, sumurrender, kasama ng co-accused niya. Kaya nawalan kami ng rason na pasukin pa uli yung Bible School.
so
yung
yung potential motivation. So, kasi
oo,
sabi nila, ano yun, ultimate sacrifice daw ang ginawa niya eh. Parang ginawa niya para sa bayan.
hindi naman siya namatay.
Arresto, surrender, ultimate sacrifice. What's the facts of the case?
Kaya kalokohan yung mga sinasabi nila na sumurrender hindi sa pulis. Ako, hindi totoo yun. The first contact with authority is by representative, si General Romeo Macapas. yung nakita niyong selfie. Eh, di ba? So at the end of the day, di ba, yung pinablish na unang-unang lumabas sa selfie, pulis yung nandun pulis ang kumuha nun
Intelligence services
So
ba?
that's the first contact niya.
Yeah.
Kung sabing sumurrender sa iba, hindi Ang unang contact niya talaga. Kaya ang nangyari lang, the role of the other government agencies involved in that is prisoner transport. He's a prisoner already sa Bible school pa lang. Kaya dinala na lang siya from his place of apprehension to his ultimate place of detention, which is Camp Crame doon sa may custodial center. Inassist na lang kami ng other government forces. Unfortunately, siyempre, ang abogado niya, gagawin talagang spin yun na sabihin na he was not captured but he surrendered. Good luck with them sa kung paano nila i-explain sa judge
para
yan.
sabihin nila they were not obstructing, the exercise of
Good luck to them sa explanation nila sa judge kung paano maging plausible yan. Tapos may isa pang uhuging epal na retired intelligence officer daw. Pero ang totoo, kilala ko yun kung talaga yun, epal-epal yun, akala siguro magaling siya.
na naman
Gumawa ng kwento na sa kanya nag-surrender si Kibuloy sa North Cotabato at pumasok na lang sa OJC
yung pala may
para
North
surrender.
Cotabato. Oo.
Diba?
Ano yun? Saan galing
Epal.
yun, General? Anong drama yun? Anong charot yun? Anong Marquez?
Yun ang sabi ni Secretary Abalos na kwentong kutsero. Talagang sabi niya kwentong kutsero yan. Kasi nga, yung epal na yun, feeling niya, magaling siya. Retired yun, intelligence officer kuno. Wala rin naman ang napatunguhan ng karir niya. Kaya ngayon, naging asset na lang siya from intelligence officer to intelligence asset. He wants to make himself relevant kasi mukhang tatakbo na naman sa politika yung loko na yun. Kaya he made a story na talagang very damaging yun That's very damaging to other agencies kung hindi explain.
Exactly.
Kasi sinasabi niya, sumurrender sa North Cotabato. Pagkatapos, dinala niya papunta sa hangar ng KOJC to surrender through the old airport. For him to do that, first and foremost, he has to pass through a gate, either one of the gates. Kasi may 2 gates na pwedeng gamitin doon. Ang isang gate doon is controlled by the CAAP and the other one is controlled by the Air Force. So saan siya dumaan? Na illegal ang kanyang ginagawa because harboring criminal yun
So may ini-imply siya na compromising itong services or tumulong?
Napakalabo nun. No? Halimbawa, saka sabihin natin, sige, may iba pa siyang daanan na hindi natin alam kung saan siya dumaan, basta nakapasok siya sa airport premises. For him to do that, to move from the old airport to the hangar of Kibuloy, he has to cross the runway. How can you cross a runway? Or you use the service road undetected. Ang loob ng airport, pag mag-cross ka sa runway, siyempre, concern ka ng tower kung mabangga ka ng aeroplano. Kung dadaan ka naman doon sa may service road, concern ka naman ng ground control. Kasi ang ground control, nakikita niya lahat yan. Yung paglanding ng aeroplano kasi, tinatransfer sa ground control yan para ma-synchronize yung aeroplano sa ground, yung mga ladder, yung mga baggage handler, yung mga fire truck, yung mga bus, kung may mga bus gates na ginagamit. Alam ko yan kasi Air Marshal ako.
Mission Impossible. Tom Cruise ba si Kuya ngayon? Tom Cruise na. Hindi, self-proclaimed Tom Cruise.
Kaya alam ko kung paano tumatakbo ang mga elemento dyan sa airport dynamics kasi nag-Air Marshal ako. Kaya meron kaming seminar dyan sa STP 123 Basic na requirement ng ICAO, yung International Civil Aviation Organization. So, sineminar namin yan noon, year 2003. Kaya, napaka-imposible ng kwento na yun. Kaya house show sabagay, house show naman yung source ng kwento, alam ko yun.
So General, you were the perfect enemy kasi may engineering background ka, may aviation training ka. Medyo alam mo na, marami ka rin mga kilala dyan na may marites yan. I mean, mukhang hirap na hirap sila sa'yo, no? But General, how did you keep your composure? Because I'll be honest, General Torre, one reason I was very surprised with almost 99.9% positive comments about you and support for you nung 2 weeks ago pa na mukhang malabo pa ng konting situation, at least on the surface, is because usually pagdating sa PNP, I mean, aminin natin, General, in the past few years, yung panahon ni Digong, there's a negative perception. I just want to be honest. We're all friends here. Pero
Yeah,
yung
of course,
level of
of course.
self-restraint mo, General, your level of self-restraint, composure, cool, calm, and composed, it was amazing. I mean, this is what you expect from a pro world-class Philippine police, and I think many were amazed by this. Can you tell me about how you kept your composure? Kasi yung City Council resolution, daming satsat. Yung korte, pinagalitan pa ng Department of Justice at saka yung Court of Appeals. Anong pinagsasabi niyo dyan? Vice-presidente mo, bumalik pa at minit-meet pa niya yung mga supporters. Yung mayor na isa dyan, nagmamagaling. Si Digong, yan na naman. I mean, these are all from all different sides. Talagang sandwich na sandwich kayo, General. How did you keep your composure? Nag-yoga rin ba kayo? Baka meron din kayo ibang training na nag-meditate kayo na hindi ko alam, General. Baka, ano pa ba mga training nyo dyan? Yoga master ba kayo?
Siguro I'm just may kuwan ako siguro may mga natural gift of a thick skin, thick black skin, kaya matibay natural armor. Makapal ang balat, makapal ang apog, maitim pa. Talagang medyo
Nakahanap ng
they can't get
katapat.
through me. Kaya medyo, but seriously speaking, I'm that confident kasi, well, alam ko ang batas So, naintindihan natin ang situation and hindi naman tayo pumasok, hindi ko nilid ang mga tao ko into something na unsure ako. Truth to be told, ang operations plan nito, 2 rim ang kapal. Kaya nagtataka yung boss ko na nang pinasa. Sabi niya, bakit ang main oplan, kasi kakaiba ito sa ibang mga oplan. Maybe that's the first time nakakita sila ng ganung oplan na
Yun nga,
ang
this
ginawa
is
kong operations
unprecedented.
plan ay ang main operations plan ay 5 pages lang. Pero yung mga supporting documents ng mga implementation plan ng bawat aspeto ng operation, like CDM, yung CDM ko talagang dinitalye ko yung paano buuin ng CDM, yung Civil Disturbance Management na hindi lang na ifo-form mo, hindi, pati ang training na ni-require ko, pati ang kanilang how the CDM will work with the arresting officers. Kaya kung napansin nila yon, nakita yun ng mga KOJC, lalo na nung kanilang abogado, na weeks before basta weeks before ng actual na pagpasok ulit, pag-serve ng warrant, nakakita nila ng mga pulis nagpa-practice ng CDM and yung paano mag-gel ang team ng CDM at saka ng arresting. Kasi yan ang trick diyan
Yung
na
synchronizing, no?
dapat kasi parang silent drill yan in such a way na ang mga movements sila will be automatic and fluid. Parang yung old Greek fighting, yung nakita niyo naman sa mga movies like 300, nakita nyo yung mga shield na dikit-dikit pag inatake sila, paano ang umbrella formation. Pinagawa ko talaga. Parang Spartan na laban. So, kasama doon, pati yung tinanungan ng boss ko, bakit may mga kasama rito yung procurement ng mga portalets, nag-estimate ako nung size ng kitchen na gagamitin ko, gaano karami yung pagkain na ipiprepare every meal. So, tinanong nga niya, nagulantang nung sinabi ko kung magkano presyo because it's absurd absurd ang pagtingin nila, pero well, tama nga, nandun nga ang na mag-end kami, ganun nga ang expenditures. So, it was meticulously planned, pati yung movement yung deployment initial, pag start natin ganitong 4:30, ganitong itsura ng operation ng battlefield. Kasi ang tawag namin doon IPB. Ang tawag niyan is IPB, Intelligence Preparation of the Battlefield. So sa conventional warfare, ganun Pero in-apply natin dito yung
Napa-workshop
IPB.
kami dito, General. I mean, napa-workshop ka mga tao. Dami nagre-react dito. Ang dami mga acronyms. No, but this is very helpful. Ako naman kasi, General, I usually talk to people in AFP military dahil West Philippine Sea talaga yung specialty ko dati. But tuwan-tuwa ako kasi marami akong mga kaibigan. Si Mayor Magalong, kaibigan natin from PNP. Yung si Tito Conde ko, Roger Conde, mga police din. So, interesado talaga ako kausapin din mga strategic thinkers, no? Sa Philippine National Police. And I was actually told by folks, our common friends, na you are a strategic thinker and that I need to talk to you talaga pick your mind. So General, I'm very happy you're laying this out for people because dapat makita nila may mga matatalino talaga na strategic thinkers sa Philippine National Police, hindi lang sa mga iba't ibang services ng gobyerno. I want to ask you, General, about this issue again. When you were appointed to take charge of Region 11 dyan sa Davao, no? Were you expecting this moment? Did you have a preparation coming in? Kasi tricky talaga yan eh. It was gonna be a tricky appointment, and mukhang lahat ng mga matatalinong tayo alam nila saan papunta itong unit team na ito, no? Now, I don't want to put you in trouble with the other side of this equation yet, but I just want to look at your psychological preparation. That was a hard appointment, but also that was something that could prove the mettle of your leadership.
Pag nang ma-appoint ako rito kasi, when I was appointed here, meron pang Task Force Kibuloy na talagang I'm just a small part of it. May talaga nakatutok talaga para kay Kibuloy. And then one thing led to another, and yun na nga, I was eventually tasked na ako na lang ang mag-plan and mag-lead. Kasi supposedly pag upo ko after a week or two, implementation na uli. So sabi ko, kung ibigay niyo sa akin yan, I just would like to ask you to give me time to plan so I will succeed or fail according to my plan, not on the plan of others. So sabi ko, I may need a little bit more time para magawa itong mission na to. So
Right, to tick
taking
all the
into consideration
boxes, no?
actually yung mga actually I'm from Marbel, 4 hours away from Davao lang. At
You know
kung
the
napansin
area.
mo sa aking Facebook, kung mapansin mo sa aking Facebook, ang latest na post ko nung isang araw nung pumunta rito si General Marbil, nag-alay ako ng bulaklak sa libingan ng mga bayaning pulis dito sa loob mismo ng kampo ko.
Opo.
Kasi sa bato doon ay nakasulat ang pangalan ng tatay ko.
Yeah,
Dahil
you
namatay ang
dedicated
tatay
your
ko.
dad. I saw that exactly. Can you say tell
Yeah.
us a little bit about that, yung background ng ama niyo? Kasi father's legacy is really something I can definitely relate, General.
My father is a PC soldier and he was assigned in Coronadal, South Cotabato. He was the first sergeant of that company. And namatay siya sa isang assassination, ambush. Doon din, while he was the first sergeant. So it was in 1990, 6 months before ako pumasok ng akademya. Tapos, among sa mga commanding officers niya, si General Isidro La Peña. Oh. He was a Gold Cross medalist ang tatay ko. Dalawa ang order doon sa medal nila. Siya at saka si General Isidro La Peña. And who is Isidro La Peña? Talagang mainstay ng Davao. Hindi ka taga Davao pag hindi mo kilala si Sir Sid. He was very close to the former president. He was even appointed as head of customs. He was also appointed as head of the PIDEA. So, kilala talaga siya. Tapos isa sa mga CEO rin ng tatay ko, nandito lang, very close naman kay Vice President, si Ben Hormungao. So, basically, marami akong kilala. And Senator De La Rosa is a good friend of mine. He's a shooting buddy. Our friendship
Si Bato na he came down, no? Si Senator De La Rosa came down during the operations, right? What was the context of your conversation to make sure things don't get out of control? Why would he come down? I mean, to the degree that you can share.
Well, yun na nga, nang matapos na ang lahat, sabi ko nga, sa yung mga nambabash na mga nanggugulo at nangiintriga, sabi ko, alam nyo, pati even sa mga tao, kasi sinasabi ko rin na these people are never our enemies. Opponents sa field siguro nitong we're on the opposing sides nung trabaho ito, but nothing personal. These are roles that we play. They have their roles, we have our roles. Everything turned out well. Kahit na sa kanila, at the end of the day, I would like to think, especially sa abogado nila, kay Atty. Torion, na the outcome is also favorable for them kasi at least they can already start with the defense and matapos na ni Kibuloy kung meron mang end in sight dito. Kasi hindi pa tapos kung anong mga legal remedies na sinasabi niya after all those legal gubildiguk. Yung sinasabing legal gubildiguk. Wala pa rin. At the end of the day, bihirang-bihirang makakwash ang warrant nang hindi ka magsasubmit sa korte. Imposible. Halos hindi uubra yun. There's no way that it can be done.
Baka
Especially
pang
in this case.
SMI School of Legal Constitutional Studies siguro yung mga sinasabi nito. Kasi nakakailo, Torre. So kung hindi mo babasahin,
Kaya nga eh.
wait, sinabi
Yeah.
ni General Torre, hindi si Torion pala. I mean, kung tamad ka magbasa, minsan mahilo ka sa quotations pag binack to back kayo ni Sir Torion, no, Dean Torion. So this operation is really unprecedented, no? May maisip pa kayong general na may similar to this in the past? Even during your dad's time, na ganitong kalawak na operations, handling thousands, going through a compound. I mean, wala akong maisip na anything similar unless, obviously, I'm not an expert on PNP history. What was your inspiration if this is a pioneering, essentially, operation? I mean, I cannot think of any precedents. Is there any precedents?
Well, kung lang to, maybe na-blow up lang ito na operation pero there was a time when I was the QCPD director, di ba? May pinasok din akong isang hindi kayang arestuhin ng mga pulis ko. Inakyat ko, pader, yun yung umakyat, di ako na lang akyat, arestuhin natin itong tao. And then also, parang shortly after that, ay may isa akong case din na bakanting lote na pinasok ng mga sindikatong squatter gamit ang mga security guards na hindi rin actionan ng mga SWAT dahil kung ano-ano mga sinasabi. Adi, ako umaksyon, pinag-aresto ko lahat ng mga security guards na yun. Because it's really, basically, parang dare, you have to dare. Kasi, yun na nga ang isang, hindi ko rin masisisi ang mga kapulisan ko na marami ang nag-aalinlangan dahil nga napaka-vulnerable ng situation ng mga pulis sa disciplinary cases. Konting kibot lang kahit na ikaw ay inintriga lang, pwede kang makasuhan and eventually kung ikaw man ay ma-exonerate, ang pagdadaanan mo ay butas pa rin ng karayom, gastos mong sarili yon, buntot mo hila mo. Kaya maraming mga pulis,
you have to pay for your own lawyer.
kaya maraming pulis na nagiging ang principle na lang sa buhay ay non-interference. Kasi
Play safe.
kung wala kang ginagawa, mas safe ka sa from the repercussion of the aggrieved party na kasi nga sa totoo lang, the police is never and should never be neutral. Ayun ang prinsipyo ko yan eh. The police is never neutral in any instance, in any conflict. The police can never be and should never be neutral. Kasi nga, sa kwan pa lang eh, di ba, sa PNP him pa lang eh, kriminal aming kalaban. O, di may kalaban ka? Wala eh. Hindi mo pwede sabihin na kriminal aming kaibigan eh. So, pag may kalaban ka, hindi ka neutral. Kasi may kinakalaban ka eh. And really, yun ang gusto kong palaging pinapaalala ko sa sarili ko na sa isang conflict, palaging nandun tayo para sa aggrieved party na naghahanap ng redress. To some extent, wala tayong kinikilingan, wala tayong pinoproteksyonan talaga ng mga interest yan.
At susunod sa rules of the game.
Dapat at the get-go, on the fly, ma-assess mo na kagad ang situation kung sino ba dito ang dapat na kampihan mo, sino ba dapat ang proteksyonan mo, at sino dapat ang neutralize mo. So, in this case naman, ay napakaliwanag naman. May warrant of arrest, at may dahil may nagrereklamo at may ruling na ang judge, so bakit ko naman kakampihan si Kibuloy? Isa lang ang bottom line dito, sumurrender ka. So, with that, ang iniisip ko, isi-serve ko ang warrant na to, dahil pag hindi pa ito na-serve ang warrant na to, pag hindi ko ma-serve to, sino pa ang mag-serve? At hindi ko naman sinasabi na akong pinakamagaling, pero it was done on June 10, hindi na i-serve eh, with so many people. Sa akin naman, parang ang hirap naman yata ang tanggapin.
General, na water cannon
yeah.
daw.
Oh yeah, they did that on June 10. Pero,
I mean, this is crazy.
Yeah, they did. At they have the temerity to show it in the Senate. They showed it themselves.
Grabe, no?
And then tinanong ni Bato, sabi ni attorney nila, we did that in self-defense. Kasi naman.
Mga civil
resistance. Parang ibang libro talaga ginagamit nila kasi.
Medyo ibang constitutional school yung napunta yung mga kaibigan natin. Tsaka mahilig sila mag-usap. human rights and due process ngayon, yung mga kaibigan natin dyan sa Davao. Hindi ko narinig yan masyado.
Kaya nga, kaya nga sinasabi ko, ito, on the second day, they already wore newly printed shirts na nagsasabi, Justice for Apollo Kibuloy. Eh, sabi ko naman sa kanila, gusto niyo pala hustisya. Eh bakit ayaw niyong sumurrender sa korte? Eh, aling hustisya ba? Saan niyo ba hinahanap ang hustisya? Sa kalsada? Hindi naman pwedeng ganyan. Kasi kung hinapin niyo ang hustisya sa kalsada, eh, magkakaletse-letse talaga tayo. Ang justice can only be dispensed by the court. And you should, first and foremost, submit to the court to avail of that dispensation of justice. So, wala eh.
General, I disagree with you. Sabi nila, sila daw ang biktima ng witch hunt. Tuta daw kayo ng Amerika, ang ginagawa niyo is in behalf of the FBI. Kawawa naman si Kibuloy. He's a victim of this witch hunt. Ano bang masabi niyo dyan, General?
Wala akong dinadalang warrant ng US So, alam namin na may warrants sa US, but that's the least of our worries. Ang warrant na dala-dala ko, issued by the Pasig Court. At saka yung yung sorpresa sila doon na-sorpresa sila doon. Akala nila hindi ko alam yung warrant na lumabas ng August 8. Kasi nasa June 10 wala pa yon. August 8 is a warrant for violation of 5B, Section 5B of RA 7610. Ano yun? Sex with a child.
Minor.
Yun ang warrant niya. Ay, hindi. Ganong ginigrill ako sa Senate na you don't make insinuations on this guy. Sabi ko, hindi naman ako nag-insinuate eh. Ang nag-conclude nito na merong probable cause is ang judge, kaya nga nag-issue ng warrant eh. So, there's no insinuation whatsoever. I'm just reading the exact passage of the law na naging basihan ng pag-issue ng warrant of arrest. So, yun. That's why I'm very confident na talagang what we're doing is based on our laws.
Yeah, law is on your side. Papunta tayo sa last part. I want you to rest and ubusin yung burger from Philippines. Ay, sorry. Hindi ko dapat sinabi yung airlines na. Mamaya. It's 12:30. It's like, alam mo na, we're not at our best. Mga ganun. Kunyari, walang palusot lang. General, last part. I know this is, I probably have to talk to the PNP spokeswoman on this issue and all, and don't worry, I'll reach out. But to the degree that you can share your opinion, kasi naalala ko last time nag-usap tayo, sabi mo, you're under a lot of pressure. But ngayon, siyempre, nag-1-2 punches. Si Alice Go, Kibuloy, but, there's still Bantag. From my part of the world, Cordillera region, there's still Teves. And of course, some are even wondering if ICC eventually comes in. And of course, si Senator Bato de Rosa has a lot to say about that. To the degree that you can talk as a director in Davao, I know this is a national issue. Ano masasabi mo sa mga kababayan natin na bilib sa'yo, daming naka 400 comments na saludo sa'yo. Parang, sabi ko, hindi po siya si PNP chief or hindi yet. Right? So, hinahinay lang sa mga tanong nyo. But to the degree that you can answer this question from all of these people na sobrang bilib sa inyo, General, knock on wood, what can you say about justice? I mean, the arc of history will bend towards justice. May reassurance pa kayo dyan o ano lang? Tuloy-tuloy lang itong pardagulan na to, marathon na to.
Ano yun? Paulit ang question? Yung, ano yun? About justice?
Sinabi para sabi ko baka hindi makasagot to si General eh. I was just saying, people be optimistic na sunod na rin sila Bantag, Teves, yung mga ibang fugitives. As simple as that. That's really my question. Huwag mo na pansinin yung sinabi ko.
Depende sa kung anong orders. Pero at the end of the day, part ng trabaho ng PNP talagang manhunt eh. At it will be a grave dereliction of our duties if we don't heed the order of the courts. Kasi wala na, mag-breakdown na tayo ng justice system natin pag hindi natin sinunod ang utos ng korte na iset aside natin for whatever reason yung mga warrants of arrest. Kasi ang warrants of arrest kasi ang sinasabi niyan, there's a judge saying na I found that probable cause to charge Mr. Ganito, so you have to bring him to me. Yun ang dyan. And ang dapat dyan, we all have to sa security forces, especially sa law enforcement, we have to implement that. We have to heed that. At saka sa mga affected na mga tao, dapat they should voluntarily surrender na lang and have their day in court. Kasi they will also be given the free, a fair trial naman eh. Yun naman ang assurance ng ating courts naman eh. So, otherwise, there will be a total breakdown in our society. Ang isang challenge lang na nakita ko ngayon is that medyo, yun nga, education system ng Pilipinas, mukhang kailangan talaga nating medyo, or maybe nakita ko na propaganda. Like for example, kanina, edi arraignment.
Sige lang.
Arraignment kanina. So, ipinost ngayon ng abogado na Kibuloy pleads not guilty. Eto na naman. Pagka-post, mura na naman Katore. O ayan, not guilty, not guilty. Anong sinasabi niya?
Oh, yeah.
Na may kasalanan siya po si
Oh my God.
Kibuloy.
Yeah. Oh my
Diba?
God.
So,
Kailangan ng
i-explain
basic
mo na naman na, i-explain mo na naman na lahat ng tao, pag binasahan ng sakdal, automatic yan na not guilty yan. Almost 99% not guilty. And if they don't enter a plea of any plea, the government will automatically enter a plea of not guilty for them so that there will be trial. Kasi pag nag-plea na sila ng guilty, wala nang trial. Which is okay naman. In some instances, meron ganyan. Plea bargaining na lang. Pero,
i-negotiate mo na lang.
yun nga.
Oo.
May
Si Senator Raffy Tulfo, di ba? Sabi niya, dapat magkakaroon ng basic legal education ng mga kabataan pa lang, no? Para hindi umaasa na lang sa mga abogado or mga bolero ng mga kunyari abogado dyan. Basics lang yan eh. Pleading not guilty doesn't mean you're innocent. As simple as.
Totoo. So it's really very disheartening kasi yun nga, yung mga anak ko, in all this, ang nakaka-apekto talaga sa akin yung mga harassment na ginawa sa anak at asawa ko eh. Talagang ang social media pages nila, social media accounts nila, talaga namang tinatadtad eh. Very foul naman yun. Foul naman talaga yun.
Foul talaga niya. Talagang walang ya. But speaking of foul, di ba, sorry, hindi ako nagtatanong. Madami nagtatanong dito. Sampalin ka daw nung mayor na isa. Yung mayor daw na isa, sasampalin ka daw, General. Ano nangyari doon? Tapos, pinagtawanan mo lang siya? Sige lang, tignan natin. Ginanon mo pa siya. Yung mga sigas.
Sinagot na natin before yun. And nagkita naman actually doon sa hearing. Akala ko, lalapitan ako eh. Nag-isip din ako actually lapitan siya and makipagkamay. Kaya lang, sabi ko parang baka will steer. Medyo, kumbaga, tumining na yung hornet's nest. Huwag na nating steer pa. Kaya na lang natin.
General, a gentleman, a successful general, a meticulous policeman. Thank you so much, General. May your star continue to rise and may you continue to serve the country best way possible. And please take care of yourself. Please stay safe, and our prayers and love with you, General. Is there anything you want to share before we wrap up this almost 1 a.m. conversation, aside from calling out yung isang airlines na late dahil.
Kaya talaga, Richard, talaga mamaya malasin na tayo dyan.
Ayoko na lang tigilan. Hindi, mahal ko na sila.
Mag-personal ng grata sa akin, hindi na komentahan ng ticket. Anyway, ako nagpapasalamat sa inyo, Richard, at sa inyong mga tagapakinig. At sana patuloy niyong help us in educating our countrymen also sa mga issues na ito so that mas ang mga aso ko nandun. Nag-iingat. Anyway, thank you very much for the time that you've given me to explain all these issues. And I do hope to have similar talks with you in the future on other issues.
Yes, hopefully in person next time. No, General, hopefully in person next time, either dun sa TV show ko or in my other studio podcast para kasama din natin makulit na iba sila. Secretary Llamas. Marami pa dapat natin kasama eh. Masaya to. And we hope to catch up also soon again. General, magpahinga po kayo. Enjoy niyo yung natira pa sa burger niyo at humingi kayo ng extra dyan dahil sa late flight na yan. Pero mahal naman yung Philippine Airlines, just to be clear. Wala na akong problema.
Thank you.
God
Thank you, Richard. Salamat.
Salamat po.